Hey everybody, hope you're all doing alright. So, the whole, passing and celebrating life after people die, I'm all for that. I think that's definitely the best way to go. Um, but, first of all, we living in a death cult here in America, so that mentality isn't supported very much. So just because of that, just off the get go, there's a lot of darkness associated with deaths here in America. Um, but I'm all about celebrating the person's life instead of sitting there and like a real dark mourning and just bitter misery and all that. No, I mean, I do grieve though. Like there is a loss. Like, cause like even though to celebrate his life is good, you still ain't gonna see that person again. For a long time. I mean, you have no idea when. I think I will, but who knows? It could be a very long time. Um, Time is all relative based on the perception, but my point being is that it is a separation, and that is sad. It's like when you go to work, even just going to work, 8 hours, you're not going to see your lover for your parents, your friends, whatever it may be, for that extended period of time. You can miss people even just going to work and shit. Or if they go on a vacation, you can miss them after a couple of days. The same can be said for death, except it's even a much longer and more of an unknown separation. So having sadness, feeling sad about when somebody passes, I think is completely natural and healthy even. And so it's a pain, it's a loss, it's a hardship that somebody's going through. Um, so when I see people going through that, or if I see anybody, whether they're a stranger or somebody I know going through that, having dealt with losing somebody in their life that they love very dearly, I give them condolences. I say, hey man, I'm sorry. Sometimes I'll try to share more, but if I can't, the very least, I try to at least give them some condolences and let them know, hey man, I'm sorry you're grieving and shit like that. So, you know, um, I've been giving a shout out to Jennifer Aniston, and I pick up on things, and I know that the devil can also play tricks, so it's hard for me sometimes to know what's really real and what's not. And I know that's also on me, but I hope she can, if she happens to watch, I hope she can at least see how like what I'm going through right now, and like the way that things have been in the past, and for her still not to even share like any type of like sympathy or condolences to my dad passing, or to give any type of to give any type of indication that she's interested or cares or anything like that. I don't know. To me, it's a little bit cold. Uh, it's it's just a little bit cold. Even if not, that's just how I feel, man. I mean, that to me, it's kind of a lot of cold, but I'm different. But so it's a cold thing to do, and it's an alien thing to do too for me. And I'm different than you guys, man. Like with Matthew and stuff. I know I talked about being friends with him and shit, and whatever happens, I'm down to make it as positive as possible. But it is alien for me to have as much of an abundance as y'all have, and to not share it. And I know you're saying you look at me as somebody who doesn't have that yet, so it's easy to say that shit. But you're right. It is easier to say that than actually have it and do it. um, but I hope that I can show you guys that I am different, because we do got kids that are starving to death out here, and we got people that are in really fucked up situations, and there's more that we can do about it. There's a lot more we can do about it, and there's a lot more that we can do for each other too. And yes, there are forces that have worked very hard to keep things this way, and they've done a good job at turning things into what they are now. But it doesn't give us the right to not work and fight for as much as we can that we know is right, as much as we know is right. Sorry if my head's a little foggy. Um, so, anyways, I love you guys, and I'm sorry if I offended anybody, and I hope that y'all can at least appreciate where I'm coming from. Because the same thing with David Knoll, like, I haven't seen him post a video in a long time. It's like months, and he comes on here and talks about a shaman's journey to stupidity, and I didn't even watch the video. I have no idea. It might not have nothing to do with me. I felt like it did. Even if it didn't, like the time that we're in, posting a video like that, like what good does that do? Um, yeah, I mean, it didn't do me any good. It just brought me. It kind of pissed me the fuck off, to be honest, for a number of different reasons. So I just don't get people sometimes, man. I mean, all I can think of is there's a little bit of jealousy and hurt inside of himself. And what's probably going on is he's probably watched a particular person's channel, seeing her talking about whatever she's talking about, and then he's watching my channel. He's calling me stupid because she's saying things that if I were to hear and know about, then I would change my mind. But this is what's really fucked up about this whole situation is she's been doing that for years. She says things that other people watch, but she doesn't allow me to watch, so I'm not aware of what she says. But then other people are, and they're both watching both of us, and it's just it's a fucked up situation, and she's the one that continues to block me. So there isn't much I can do about it, because I'm not gonna sit here and enable the same foolish, in my opinion, toxic behavior that I've seen her do time and time again, and I think she knows better too. So years ago, when she decided to share her channel with me again, I saw it. She started it off with the same old blame game bullshit. I said it. I had a feeling if she started off like this, it's gonna go sour, and sure enough, it did. And the last time she tried to have me on, she started off with more humiliation bullshit. So it's like I don't think I've ever. She's maybe said it like literally a few nice things amidst a plethora of bad things against my person. And it's like that's not a love I want to be a part of. You're supposed to be the person that we celebrate and appreciate and cherish each other's lives, not talk shit to each other. So I hope she's doing okay. And it's like this is also why the way she does things, like because there's this much tension between us. Whenever any of us, this is why I try to always maintain as much love as I can for everybody and everything, because you never know when something bad's gonna happen. So it's like now something bad has happened, or perceivably bad has happened in my life, and because of the arrangement that we have, it's difficult for communications. Like if we'd had a good stream of communications, I would have somebody to talk to, or she'd have somebody to talk to too if something bad happened. And she does have people, but she doesn't have me. But if she's trying to be with me, then so. Anyways, I got work to do. Things are always changing. I'm here to help teach people how to love. That's for damn sure. And so I have to remember that when I look at all y'all, because you guys just don't know what I know. And that's my fault for not appreciating that a little bit more. Because if I appreciate that a little bit more, then I would just see that all that I'm aware of and that you guys aren't aware of is an opportunity for me to share. And if you guys feel like listening to that, cool. If not, that's cool too. But me getting all bent up and out of shape because you guys aren't where I'd like to see you guys is really silly on my part. But calling somebody, it's not stupid, because there's perfectly good reasons for me to feel that way, because the instructions are here. Like everything I'm saying isn't beyond y'all's ability or comprehension. You guys have just chosen not to appreciate it as much as you could. It's not rocket science what I'm talking about here. It's basic things: love, caring for each other, caring for your planet, caring for the animals, speaking up for them. Simple stuff. Very simple stuff. That's why it's not... we could all do better. Myself included, and other people too, man. That's how I feel. That's my truth. So, I think it's okay for me to get a little bit irritated and frustrated when I continue to see humanity repeating the same mistakes over and over again, to the point to where they're at now. To where we're having issues expressing love with each other. That's where we're at. It's not a good spot, but it's here. We're here for a reason, and this is also why I need to be stern with certain people, especially people like David Knoll, and a particular person, and Jennifer Aniston, because y'all got a lot of love in your hearts, and yet, from my opinion, you guys are choosing not to really share it all that much, and especially at a time when the dude just lost his dad, and you guys were all aware of this, and you guys couldn't even leave one little comment. I'm not trying to judge or be mean on you guys. This is just the facts. This is what happened. This is where we're at. So that says something. It says we've lost our good connection with love. So, you know, when I say farewell in these things, it's because I don't want to be part of that way. I see that way that y'all are choosing to act and focus on and share is not a good way, and we need to go a different way. So it's that way that I'm putting a wall up. And anytime you want to change your ways, you're welcome in, but it does require a change, and it requires an acknowledgement that you projected something with the intent of not to help but to hurt. Because that's part of the lesson to learn. That you need to be able to acknowledge that in order to learn. That's why America's going to have to acknowledge some fucked up things that it's been doing. Otherwise, it's not going to learn. That's just part of the process. And there's no way to change it. Because it's like you're just going to fall somewhere down the line. Like, you can't skip steps. It's always going to end up biting you ass one way or another. That's why cheating, there is no real cheating, because what you think you're cheating or taking the easy way, for temporarily you might get a little bit of an extra head or something like that, but eventually you're going to have to pay for that. So everything evens out fairly. It really does. So, all right, I love you guys. Hope you have a good day.